and welcome to another plan with me. I'm going to start by opening GoodNotes and getting my stickers open. I go to the plus symbol. I have already saved these from online to my Google Drive, so I'm going to select Google Drive, my sticker folder, and open them. This is a 3-page kit made by Lucky Charms. I will have a link in the description below. So if you want to go find it, this is an absolute beautiful wintry kit, very soft colors. So I've already got one page I opened when I was trying to decide what stickers to use. And I've opened the second page, same process, the plus symbol, Google Drive, my sticker folder, and then this one's saved as Winter Hues. So I've been trying to organize my Google Drive and Dropbox more to make stuff easier to find because I'm getting quite a few files saved. So I've got those open, and then I tap each one and then use the back arrow and open the next one. That will open each of my sheets of stickers in its own tab. That way I can easily flip through them and get back to my planner to get the stickers into place. So we're going to start by selecting the beautiful chevron washi. I love these colors. It has a little bit of that glitter, which I've always loved. And here I'm showing you is last week. I recorded this last couple days of the week, so it's not completely filled out. Here's the horizontal spread. I'm going to do a video on that too. In the shop, there's a add-on kit to have a horizontal weekly. So now that I've got my washi pasted, I'm going to crop it down and get it in place. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, and I find that if you use the pinch and zoom to zoom in, it's a lot easier to line everything up. And if you'll notice, I have a few things placed on my calendar that I had pre-planned and put in there. The book covers, I just went and I used screenshot to snap a photo of them from like Barnes and Noble, cropped them down and put them on the day they come out. Here I copied the same piece of washi, but instead of using the handlebars to drag it so I don't mess up the width, I'm going to just kind of eyeball it and look where I want to crop it. Because if I were to use the handlebars, it would change the width as well as the length, and I just want it to be shorter on my left-hand page. So now that I got that, I'm going to look through the stickers. Oh, I'm going to go ahead and grab the hydrate one, because I know I normally put those along the bottom or on my sidebar. This week, because I love these glittery ones, I'm going to go ahead and put them along the bottom. That is a picture of an appointment card. My son has an appointment. I just literally took a picture of the appointment card with my phone and then put the image of my planner on the date. So I had all the details there. So I'm going to paste and then crop down the hydrate sticker. And again, once I get it the right size and in place, I'm going to use my lariat tool and copy this sticker that has already been adjusted. That way they will be the same size as I paste them on each day of the week. So now that I got that one in place, copy and paste. Gonna do that one for each day. I did really good last week. I joined a challenge on Facebook. It was you check in with other people and try to encourage each other to drink enough water. That is one thing I'm horrible about. And I did really well last week. I actually drank more than my goal 3 out of the 5 days. Which, considering most days I don't even meet my goal, I was pretty impressed with myself. So I'm hoping I can keep that up this week. So now that I've got all of those on there, I'm going to look and start with my sidebar. I'm looking at the full boxes here. I am ready for winter. I was checking my lariat tool, make sure I had image selected. Then I'm going to copy and paste it. Remember, when you copy, it copies it to like your clipboard, so it's not going into your camera roll and taking up space. I've got it cropped down, but I decided to do this kit. I am so ready for winter. I'm hoping if we get a good freeze, it will help with allergies and fleas and ticks for my dogs. Here, she had this cute weekly to-do. And I do have a few things I want to get done this week. I'm just not sure what day. So for this one, because of the shape, I'm going to use the freehand tool. And you can see here, I'm not getting it absolute perfect. But in the end, it still looks really good. Because I want to layer it on top of the full box sticker I already put down. So if it would have been blocky, I don't think it would have looked as well. So I traced around it. Again, not perfect, but it turned out pretty good. I keep hearing how wonderful the Apple Pencil is. I do not have one. My iPad doesn't support it. But that might make doing the freehand cropping a lot easier. So here I'm going to grab one of the to-do boxes so I can make me a list. And my plan is to layer the weekly to-do over the to-do part on the top. Because again, I have a few things I know I want to get done, but they're not specific to any day. I'm expecting company this week, and there's a few things I know we're going to want to do together. I have some of my mother's stuff here that she's been keeping here, and her Christmas village is in there. So I know we're going to want to make sure we locate the Christmas village so she can take it home with her before she goes. So now I'm going to adjust the size. And I wanted it smaller than the full box, so the full box kind of made a frame around it. And then you need to remember, when you're layering stickers, whatever you copied onto the page last is what's going to be on top. So you saw I moved the weekly to-do over to the side, and I'm adjusting the to-do box where I want it. And even though I've put these in place and then moved the other one back on top of it, because it was pasted to my page before the to-do box, it's still going to layer underneath it. So what I did is I circled it, and with the lariat tool, and hit cut and then paste. That way it was the last thing, so it layered on top of it instead of then falling behind it. So now I'm going to go pick my to-do box. I need a checklist. Actually, before I do the to-do boxes, this kit does not have any headers. So I'm going to take this thin glitter washi and use it in place of what I would normally use headers for. So before I do my to-do boxes, and I'm just going to crop it down and then adjust it to fit along the top here. Now that I've got that the right size, I'm going to copy and paste the same one. And even though it's shorter, I just copied and pasted two of them and layered them. And now I'm going to get a to-do box. I like to have a to-do list every day. As a busy mom, there is always something that needs done. And I just get satisfaction from checking stuff off. Here I'm kind of moving my reminders around, so because my stickers are always going to layer on top of those, because those were put in a few weeks ago. So I picked my to-do box, and now I'm just going to take the same one because I decided I wanted all of them to be that pretty blue since I did the silver washi, and I'm going to copy and paste them across the entire week. I might be a little lighter on to-dos this week because, again, I'm expecting company, so I won't be as busy. I'll probably spend quite a bit of time with my mom while she's here, and then um, in the shop for Spire Media, she has also introduced a bullet journal. I'm thinking of either using that or adding in the horizontal week right behind this week and using it to do like a memory keeping of while my mom's here. So there I'm pasting the same glitter washi I used up top. I just circled it with my lariat tool and using it as a divider in between my to-do boxes, and here I'm going to start using the appointment labels and putting in things I need to do. So I circled it, copied, and I'm going to paste it here. Use the crop feature to crop it down so I don't have any excess. And then get it down to the right size. Start putting in some of my reminders so I can clear off some of the other stuff. So here, I know I'm going to need a couple of these that week or that day. Tuesday ended up being a pretty full day of just stuff I wanted to remember and stuff that needed done. Here, once you open your keyboard, if you click on Style on the left, you can select your text color, a highlight color. In the middle here, you can select different fonts. That is one thing. Lots of people have been comparing GoodNotes to some of the other apps. Metamoji Notes has more fonts, but I seem to be gravitating towards GoodNotes for most of my planning. So I picked my color, and here I am typing in the book. It's a new series by this author. I read the last series she had out and absolutely loved it. So I'm really excited about this book. So then I compare it to kind of how big my appointment label is. And then you can adjust your font size. And it changes the whole thing. So in some cases, I will use the emojis on my keyboard, which I do add to this sticker. I do the text for the emoji and the letters separate so I can have different font sizes because it will change everything in that text box. I've also learned that when you first pull up a text box, see how long my text box is? Here I'm going through looking for an emoji. If I can make that text box as small as I can and still fit my letters in it, when I'm editing things and moving stuff around on my page, I don't tend to grab my text boxes as easy because if you look at all the white space on either side of, in this case, the emoji, that white space, if I just press and hold and edit there, it will still grab that. So even if it's on another sticker, if you make it smaller, you just less cases of you accidentally grabbing text. Here I found a little stack of books. I can never remember where all of these are. And now I'm adjusting the size because I can tend to make the emojicons a little bigger than the text, so I like to do them separate. So then I just press and hold and then select a delete for that book cover. So, and then I had already copied the blank appointment label before I had added my text. So I just repasted it. And then there's another book coming out on the same day that I like. I do read quite a bit, and um, I used to have a calendar saved in my phone just for entertainment. I would put books that were coming out, or movies, or music. And I like putting those in my planner, so I do all my books as ebooks now and read on my iPad. So this way I can remember to go get them. And once you set your font, as long as you don't change it, next time you go to add text, it will remember the last font you used. So this one's already set as the same color and style as what I had already typed for the previous appointment label. There I was trying to type it and I kept looking up at my screen instead of at my iPad doing it, and that made typing very difficult. I like that even when you're typing using your keyboard here, you still do have the spell correct, but that also means you need to watch out for autocorrect because it will get you here too. So there I was adjusting it a little bit, trying to figure out how I wanted to do the name. And now I'm just going to move it over. See, I need to make it a little smaller because the title was longer. So that one's taken care of. And then I'm going to move this appointment card down so that I can paste another label. Because I know my son has his nurse appointment that day. So here I'm, like I said, it remembered the color and font and everything for me. So again, kind of scrolling through the emojis. I can never remember which ones I have or what category they're in. But I am pretty excited because my husband's pretty good with image editing softwares, and he taught me how to make digital stamps tonight. So next week, I am sure you will be seeing me use some of those. I am super excited about that. Um, it's not in this video because it had occurred after I had filmed this, but I have two cats that recently had litters of kittens. So I have 8 baby kittens in my house. So they have got an eye infection. So I have to put medicine in their eyes. So I made a little digital stamp that I can go in and put every day to remind myself and check off when I do their eye medicine. So I couldn't find what I was looking for, so I ended up just using this little alarm clock um, to remind me that it is a time sensitive appointment. And now I'm just going to type in what the appointment is and the times. But the digital stamps are seriously a lot of fun. And I can layer them on top of these labels. And because they're transparent behind them, I don't have to crop or anything. I'm super excited about those. So, got that and the time put in. See, if you make it too small, it will make it into separate lines. But I just wanted it kind of nice and tight. That way, when I'm editing and moving things around, I don't accidentally grab the wrong one. And then I just circle that with my lariat tool, long press, and delete. And since I still had this appointment label on my clipboard. I just pasted it because I needed another one of them this week or that day. I like being able to use the emojis to kind of make my own labels. Like this one, she included a lot of appointment labels, but she didn't really have any of like the little things, is what they're commonly called, for like TVs or meals. So it is easy to add the emojis to those to then signify, I know there's a fork and spoon one, a little TV, like I added the books to kind of give them a category that way. So I went and got a different one because even though I haven't typed on that one yet, I knew I needed to add something on Wednesday. And she included so many with different patterns, I wanted to kind of mix up the fun patterns. Grabbed another one, copied it, pasted it, and then I'm going to crop it down. I know the last several weeks, most of my stuff I've wrote in by hand, but I do love being able to add it as text too. I think it gives it a very clean look. And my handwriting will change from day to day, how big of a hurry I'm in, whatever's going on. So I like that the text is more uniform. So I know I have two things going on Thursday. So you can see how wide that text was. Um, I shortened it down and kind of moved that out of the way. And here I'm going to grab one of the half boxes and copy it. And here's another one of those moments where I didn't really think ahead. I'm going to use this to mark that my mother's coming for a visit. But like I've done in some previous videos, when I have an event that is spanning through the time of several days, I will use washi and kind of run it along so I know that that box went, for the rest of that week. So here I'm going to grab a piece of the washi, and this is another thing I absolutely love about being able to do this digitally, because I'm going to copy it and then paste it on my planner. And when I crop it, I'm going to make it thinner than what I used actually at the bottom, so that it's like the narrow, more like the 3 millimeter washi versus the typical 5 millimeter washi. So there I chose the section I wanted, and as you can see, I'm cropping it down thinner. So it still matches, but so I decided I'm going to do the longer piece first. So I'm getting that in place. And then the same as when I did the bottom washi. Once I get that one how I want it, I'm going to copy that piece and paste it back to the other side to crop it down. That way it is a uniformed width on both sides of my page. So there I kind of put it where I want it. And then if you're not getting the option you want, if you tap away from it and then long press on it and edit or resize, it'll sometimes give you the option you were missing, like crop wasn't there at first. So I tapped away and came back and it gave me the crop option. So I've got that one cropped down, and it's not exactly perfect, but again, I the thing that I put on last is going to be on top, and I wanted the half box. So I just circled it, cut, and then tap and paste. And that way it's the last thing added there, so it rests on top of that washi instead of then the washi being on top of it. I did quite a bit of layering this week. So here I used the emoji con, and I picked the blue heart because it kind of matched this week. I'm getting it in place. And then again, because the emoji and often my text is different size, I added a new text box too. And because I had adjusted the one up here with my TV show reminder, it had reset my font color to what I used there. So then I just go back to style and I fixed it to have the right color again. So there I put that my mom is coming for a visit. I am so excited to see her. She lives about 4 hours away, and we don't get to see each other quite as often as we would like. So she's coming down a little early, and we're going to go ahead and have Thanksgiving together. And then I'll spend actual Thanksgiving Day with my husband's family. So I went and grabbed the payday sticker, circle it, copy, paste, and now I'm going to crop it down. I think this is a very cute sticker. I like how she did the payday sticker. And again, because I'm not putting it on top of anything like I did the weekly to do, I don't need to worry about the scalloped bottom edge. You won't even be able to tell on the white background. So I put payday in place. And then I got the weekend banner. And the same thing with the weekend banner. Because I'm not layering it on top of anything, it's going to be on that white background. I don't need to use the freehand tool and go around the little bubbles like I did the weekly to do because it blends in with the page and it doesn't have that color behind it to show. So here I got the weekend banner in place. I'm really loving how this week looks. I love these colors. But my printer, I have a new printer. We just bought it a few months ago. But for some reason, the lighter colors on it were almost too light to even see. So I don't think in my paper planner that this sticker kit would have turned out nearly as beautiful as it's showing up digitally. So I copied and pasted this blue appointment label. Getting it cropped down to size. And then here I'm kind of creating in this little bit of open space I have because I'm going to use this for my TV shows this week. And instead of, here, I got the appointment label the right size. I'm going to go ahead and add the TV emoji. And I'm going to copy and paste those together. That way I don't have to put it in each time. Save myself a little bit of work. So there I'm using the handlebars to make my white space smaller and getting it where I want. I was having trouble getting it lined up, so I used the pinch and zoom, zoomed in so I could get it lined up better. Now, if you looked here, see how it didn't grab my text box. It didn't grab that little TV. So if you tap your lariat tool again, it will give you some options, and I needed to make sure because this is a text, not an image, because I use the emoji keyboard, that I had that selected so when I circled it with my lariat tool, it would get the emoji and the sticker. So there I'm pasting it. And I'm going to go ahead and put it in on the other days that I know I have TV shows. I feel doing my planner digitally that I'm able to actually add more. Not only do I feel more fit without looking as crowded, but because I can keep, like, these stickers will still be where I originally opened them. I have a category titled stickers. Um, if I say there's a TV show come on Friday that I want to put in, it is really easy to either copy and paste what I already have or to go grab another one. I find that I add stuff in on a more consistent basis than I did with my paper planner. So she didn't have a work schedule or a menu in her kit. So these ones, I'm sure y'all have seen me, I've used them many times. I like because it has all the different colors. I thought this light blue color worked good with the colors of this kit. So I'm going to crop it down. And then I was looking at it and I decided I wanted to use some of the silver washi like I used to make headers, and I just circled a smaller section of it instead of the whole thing because I just want like a little piece to go between that weekly to do and my work schedule for my husband. So here I'm just cropping off, but as you see it's still narrow that way and I'm not having to crop as much. I just circled a smaller area of it. So I'm going to layer that in and then move this up. And then I circled that piece of washi so I can put it below it because then I want to put my mills in this week. So, and I wanted it to kind of match this kit or this sticker I already had. So, yes, I know it says work hours on here. I'm going to show you how I fix that. So, I'm going to zoom in so I have it because I'm going to work with a small section here. So I'm going to go back, I'm going to zoom in on the original sticker. And if you see, I just circled this tiny little area because I wanted to pull that blue color. And if you look, I know it's kind of hard to see, but I just got a little bitty dot of that blue color. And I'm going to use that and layer over the word work hours to block them out. And then use my text tool to type in menu. So I have one for my menu and it matches, but then I can change what it says. So I got that just about the perfect size. Sometimes I have to play with it a little, but that one worked out perfect. And I just pasted several of them and layered it along there to cover it up, and you can't even tell. Basically, I used it like a whiteout. So here I'm going to change my font color to white so it matches. and put it there and adjust the size. And for some reason to me, menu looks funny. At first I was checking like did I spell it wrong? Is it spelled right? For some reason it looks funny. So I decided to go and edit it and change it to meals. I don't know why it just there I accidentally put a new one when I was trying to edit the one that was already there. So yeah, if you drop your keyboard, there. Now I got it. But yeah, I decided to change it to say meals because for some reason menu just looked funny. I don't know if it was a difference in the font or what, but it just looked funny to me. So now I have a sticker that matches that says mill instead of work hours. So here I'm going to use the text tool. Because I'd used white last, I need to go back in and change back to the blue color to add in some of my appointments this week. Like I said, sometimes using the text instead of handwriting just gives it that really clean, crisp look. So I enjoy mixing it up. And I still handwrite on this some. I don't do all of it in the text. My to-do lists are still hand wrote in this week. I decided to go ahead and handwrite in my husband's hours. But for the appointments and things like that, I decided to go ahead and use the text tool. There I was noticing I didn't get the same shade of blue selected, so I went and fixed it. And it's the same as when you're changing the font size. If you're still in that text box and you change the color, it changes all of it. You don't have to try to highlight the text or anything with like you do with some programs. So here I'm adding in another appointment. I just love how this week is coming together. I think it is so pretty. I'm ready for cool, crisp air. According to the Farmer's Almanac, my area is supposed to get a lot of snow this year. Last year we got none. I think we had a little flurries, but nothing that really stuck. So I'm looking forward to some snow this year. I think snow is gorgeous as long as I'm inside in some nice fuzzy socks with a nice blanket, maybe some hot cocoa and a good book. I absolutely love looking out the window at that snow. I just don't like going out and getting in it. So adding in a couple of my typical weekly appointments. There again, I'm editing down so it doesn't have as much space on either side. Here I'm putting in Supergirl. It's a show I watch with my boys. I know I've mentioned I have kids. I have all boys, and they really enjoy Supergirl. So it's a show I typically watch with them. We're a little behind right now, but we're going to be catching up. We do have Thanksgiving break coming up, and so I'm sure we'll get caught up then. But I did tell them I know the 25th is when the Gilmore Girls A Life in the Year comes out. I told them that day is my day. I'm going to watch all of them. So here I added in The Blacklist, which is another show I really like to watch. And again, just using the text tool. To add in American Housewife. I know this is the first season of that show, but I am really enjoying that show. I look forward to that show every week. I like that it's kind of a shorter show. Some of the shows that are, an hour long, I don't always get to watch them in the evening, but I typically get to watch that one when it comes on. So, and then I finally got caught up on Quantico. So I want to kind of keep caught up on that one and watch it as it comes out because I really enjoy that one too. I tend to watch a lot more TV, it seems like, in the fall and winter than I do during the spring and summer. I don't know if it's because of the cold weather and I like to stay nice and warm. So here I'm using the zoom to right feature, selecting a color that matches with the font I've used or the same color as the font. And as you see here, I'm just going to write in my husband's work hours this week. So I know not this week. I think it's starting next week. I'll have to double check. But his work schedule is going to be changing a bit. That's one reason I try to kind of keep it in here. That way, if there are changes, and I do use like the calendar on my phone. My husband and I have our phone set where they can link. So if he puts something on his calendar, it'll show up on the calendar on my phone. So, um, when I'm going to plan, I always kind of check it. And then also, my Google Calendar is on my phone, and my kids' school calendar will link to that one. So it shows any days that they're off, or my school does late start normally once a month. So I always check that to make sure I'm not missing any school events. So here I'm just handwriting in some to dos I know I need to get done Monday. I seem to always think of to dos for Monday on the weekend, things that I can't do on the weekend, like make a doctor's appointment. So I like to try to get those in there. I need to make sure I check my son's grades. I try to stay on top of that. He's doing really good in school this year, but that way I can see if he's struggling anywhere and make sure he doesn't get behind. My oldest son does homeschooling, and a lot of his courses are online. And the pacing, I need to make sure he's doing good, not too far behind or too far ahead there. And then again, my mom's coming that day. We have two bathrooms in our house. And I know I mentioned before, I don't put a lot of cleaning tasks on mine, but I want to make sure the guest bathroom is what I call it. It's the front bathroom in our house. But my kids primarily use it. So I want to make sure it's good and clean because, again, I have three boys. I want to make sure it's clean before my mom gets here. So here I've got those in. Couple things I always do on Sundays. My kids get a zone each week, and on Sundays we switch zones. So I want to make sure theirs is done properly so they're not leaving their brother with a mess. So here I remembered Victoria Thatcher makes some gorgeous printables, but she also made a sheet of stickers that it's free on her blog that have the Hallmark Christmas movies, which started last weekend. I love the Hallmark holiday movies. Um, Matter of fact, we don't have cable, so we went through a big deal trying to get it so I had access to those movies because I really love those movies. So this is the stickers she made with the Hallmark Channel movies on there. I wanted to add those in my planner so I would know what movies they were and what times they came on, and also kind of just a reminder for myself that it's on and I want to watch it. So I'm going to put those. And again, I just use the rectangle crop here because there's nothing behind it, so the white space isn't really going to show. But they had one on last weekend, and I got to catch it, so I'm pretty excited about that. I know one of the planner groups on Facebook. I want to say it's Monica's Marvelous Printables. Also put up a list of all the ABC Family movies, which we like those. They have a lot of the Santa Claus and Rudolph, things like that my kids like to watch. So they do like the 12 Days of Christmas, I think is what it's called. Um, when it comes time, I'll put those in here too because I know my kids like to watch a lot of those. So I've got the two Hallmark movies for this weekend in there. Hopefully, I can watch them. Pretty sure my mom would watch them with me. So, in the end, this is what my week ended up looking like. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I hope you all enjoyed the video. And I remembered here at the end to add in my YouTube sticker that I made. That way I can try to get a video done and up for y'all. I'm trying to do my Plan With Me's every Saturday night or Sunday morning out for y'all. But I hope y'all have enjoyed the video. If y'all have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Um, if you want to see how the week kind of fills in and progresses, I'm Lava Plans on Instagram, and you can go there. I try to post midway through the week and then at the end of the week. And then even at the beginning of the week, I normally post my spread, and some things change between the end of my video and when I post it because um, something's happened, something's been canceled or moved, or sometimes I just forget to add things. I realized here I forgot to add the weather, which I will go back and add in because I like to keep track of that. But for the most part, this is what my week looks like when I'm starting. So I hope everyone has a wonderful week.